Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a tower. My goodness. The towers are the exclamation points of life, right? The towers are those, the punctuation in life. These are the moments that we will never forget. These are the things that we will remember always. This is a moment that you're going to tell your kids, your grandkids, and it's going to be sort of, it's going to be written in the Akashic records. Something's happening in your life that is going to change your life. It is never going to be the same, right? These are the moments where our lives kind of split off into another timeline, another universe, right? The really significant changes that take place, right? The tower moments are always difficult, okay? They could be leading to very, very good things, the most sort of prosperity, the most love and joy and beauty and bliss. It could be leading us right to, an empress energy. But they're difficult when they happen. They're always disruptive. They always sort of turn things upside down. They always stir up a lot of dust, a lot of emotion, a lot of thoughts. And, it's never fun, right? But they're worth it. These are those moments of change, big, abrupt change, unbelievable change in life happening right now. You're leveling up. You're transcending your current circumstances in a major way. And maybe you've been sort of used to a steady progress like this. It's just sort of, it's kind of going up, can't really see, but it's going up. These are those moments that it's not just a straight line, it's tower moment, tower moment, tower moment. These are those punctuations. And I think you kind of like them. As difficult as they are, I think they really bring us to a conscious awareness. They really open up our eyes, and they remind us that we're alive. Yeah, this is happening. They bring us into a very, very conscious awareness. It's an awakening, spiritual awakening. It could be going through a Kundalini experience or a full chakra activation. Now, got to put this card into some context. We need to see what else is going on. A Seven of Cups. Yeah, it's stirring up a lot of feelings. It's stirring up a lot of emotions for you. There is a need for your objectivity. But we need to talk about that. Here's the Eight of Pentacles. Look at that. Knight of Pentacles. And a Two of Cups. Yes. See, this is it's an emotional thing, really. I think that it is changing your life. It's sort of putting your sights on a new future. But you got to go through the feelings first. Now, when I said that you've got to try to be objective, maybe I misspoke. This card is the Queen of Swords. It's underneath the surface. This card is about rising above the emotions and seeing things clearly, seeing the bigger picture and being objective and, or being rational, but this is underneath the surface. I wonder if Spirit's kind of saying, don't do this. Rather, allow yourself to feel this emotional, this energy, it's like a cathartic experience here. It's like the Tower event is bringing the release of all this emotional tension, this emotional blockage is being cleared, and it's kind of like, not to be gross, but in physical, our physical nature, sometimes the pressure has to be relieved, right? Trying to think of a way to say this and not be not be disgusting about it, but I think you know where I'm going with this card if you look at it. we kind of have to let we've got to let the infection out, you know. Sometimes you got to kind of, the blister needs to pop in a way, right? And that's kind of, it's sort of saying, allow yourself to feel this, that this is a big disruption in your emotions, and all of this stuff is flowing out. So maybe you're going to get emotional. Maybe we're going to cry. Maybe we're going to have outbursts and all this stuff. You have to let it all flow. Okay? So maybe we're being told to not do what we usually do and intellectualize it. Okay? Just allow yourself to feel this feeling. Okay, now we're going to go over here. Yeah, there's the Tower's taking you through this doorway to a new future. This is the Eon, judgment, rebirth, reawakening, the baptism by fire. This is a doorway to the future, a doorway to the next era of your life. This is really good. We have a 10 of Wands. Yeah, makes sense. We have the Moon card and a 2 of Wands. It is a decision. The Eon card is always a decision. It's never anything that is sort of being forced upon you. Okay? You might be sort of, the Tower might be happening. You might be having this release of emotion, this cathartic experience, and all this, the emotional blockage is being freed, right? It's up to you what you do with that. It's up to you whether or not you go through this doorway and change your life, change your future. Or if we just sort of remain on the other side, right? Sometimes this card is about us really closing the door on the past, moving into the next chapter of our lives. Okay? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor, infinite, and unknown, and it's going to go right here. We're going to put our little mechanical owl right on top. I want to name that owl the owl from Clash of the Titans, the old 60s version. I think it's Bobo, right? Or Boba, or Boo Boo, or something like this. Maybe you can help me out. I don't have time to Google it right now. But that's our new friend, our owl there. If you have a prediction for this card, please put it in the comments down below. All right, let's exercise our intuition. Yeah. And let's look around the room at our major arcana, Tower, Eon, and the Moon. Usually with an Eon card, it's referring to a doorway that we're going through. And it's a difficult doorway. It's kind of painful. It's a doorway of fire, right? But you can see how much better life is going to be on the other side. You can see how the beauty, you can see like the birds are chirping and the flowers are growing, and it's really, really nice on the other side. In this case, because you've got the Moon card here, it's kind of as if you almost don't know what's on the other side of this doorway. You know that this is going to be good for you. Whatever this Tower is, it is a very defining moment in your life. I think there's a lot of catharsis. I think this emotional blockage is being cleared. And, it might really be, you're letting out all these pent-up emotions, right? Whatever this is regarding. And that itself is a huge deal. But as far as what the future holds for you, and what your future might look like, maybe it's this feeling like you know it's going to be better. You know that it's going to be, the birds are going to be singing and the flowers are going to be there and the sun will be out and all this stuff. It'll be nice, warm, little cool breeze. You know it's going to be good, but you don't know exactly what it's going to look like. And so we sort of have this fear. It's kind of a fear of just the unknown. Right? This is in the position of the fear, worry, and concern, and this is a card about fear. So it's kind of a fear of fear. It's a fear of not knowing exactly what it's going to be, right? Even if you do kind of know, even if you have this premonition, or you have this indication from spirit, let's say, you've got this certainty that it's going to be great, we're still afraid of doing it because, well, we've never done it. We haven't been there yet. Maybe we're wrong. I don't know. So anyway, we've got our major arcana, which present their own sort of interesting energies or challenges. We've got a little bit of fire at the end, which after all of this takes place, and that's, we have fire in these two places. So It really is saying that, it's action on your part that's needed. You have to bring this about. You have to give this everything you got, but it is your decision. No one's forcing you to do anything. We've got water. And the water, look at this. The 7 of Cups, and then we're looking into a 2 of Cups. This is so much better. Look how clean and pure this water is, but over here, it's not. It's like you're flushing out your transmission, and, let's say transmission or your radiator, right? For all you car enthusiasts. Cancer, for some reason, a lot of car people are cancers. I don't know why that is. You're flushing out your radiator, and at first you're putting the hose through it and all the water's coming out, but it's mucky, it's grimy, it's dirty, right? But eventually that water's going to start to clear up, and pretty soon it's just going to be nice, clean, pure water. You could drink out of the thing. Don't drink your radiator water. But the idea is that it's clean now. It's coming out pure. It's coming out crystal clear water. And we can maybe use the idea of the faucet. At home you're on well water or something, and maybe you got to run the faucet for a few minutes to get all the muck out of the pipes until it starts coming out clear. Okay, and that's kind of, we're talking emotionally here, not actually about the drinking water. But this is what we see here with the 2 of Cups from that 7 of Cups. Kind of feels like, oh, this is going to be gross forever. No, eventually it's going to start coming out clear. Things are going to be, the water's going to be calm, blue skies, right, and very, very pure, clean water. Okay, that's really, really nice. So we've got our fire that's going to bring us this water that we want. It's going to get rid of the water we don't want so we can get the water we do want. We've got a little bit of air, and the air is sort of down at the bottom. It's like Spirit saying, don't worry about the air. Don't think about it in that way. Don't intellectualize it. Don't try to label it. Don't try to name it. Don't try to take yourself out of the feeling. That's the key. Don't detach from the emotion. This is somebody with the Queen of Swords that's risen above the emotions and is looking at things very objectively, rationally, and intellectually. And it's kind of like Spirit saying, don't do that. Push that down further, because I feel like this is kind of the way Cancers usually roll. Usually the way I roll, anyway. I'm a solar Cancer. With the emotions, we tend to try to identify them and label them and think about them rationally. Well, they're emotions. They're irrational by their very nature. So it's not always a good idea, Cancer, to overthink how you feel. Sometimes we just got to let the feeling come. We don't have to ask, why am I feeling like this? Or should I be feeling like this? No, this is how I feel, and I got to let the water run until it starts coming out clean. Okay? I know that's a weird analogy, but we're going with it, all right? So anyway, we've got that little bit of air, and then we do have a little bit of earth energy, which is kind of like, that's part of the work for you right now, is to figure out where you actually want to be. What are the details of your future? Who are you? Where are you? What are you doing 5-10 years down the line? Okay. This is a big change. This is a big release from this emotional blockage or tension or whatever's going on. And you got to think, what is in the future? What is your earth life going to look like? Are you in a new place, a new home, a new job, a new city or town, or traveling to a different country maybe? What is the future? What is it that you want to be doing? Who do you want to be? Anyway, what is the 7 of Cups for you? What is this sort of emotional, toxic infection kind of thing that you got going on? Because this is not great, right? And it's important that we and it's really just, it's such the image I have in my head is just terrible, because this kind of seems like like popping a pimple. I know it reminds me of that show on TV. But that's kind of what it is. There's an eruption, and all of this water is coming out. And maybe this is just saying that, look, we need to have this cathartic experience. We need to allow this tower event to happen, and we need to break down. We need to cry. We need to go out into the woods and scream at the sky, we need to punch our pillow or tear it to shreds, right? We need to release all the feeling that's pent up in you. And the tower is releasing this. It's releasing you from this structure around you that's preventing you from feeling the cool, crisp, clean water. All right? Preventing you from really feeling good. Okay. Now, there is a possibility that there is some sort of a medical thing going on with you. I'm not a doctor. I'm not making any medical predictions. If it is something like that, something that you already know about, you're already aware of it, it's already going on. The idea, again, is to allow yourself to purge this thing. You know, it's kind of like another disgusting analogy, but when you got the flu or you're sick or something, you don't want to take a bunch of medicine, and I'm not a doctor, you don't want to take a bunch of stuff that's going to keep everything in, that's going to prevent things from draining, right? Let's say you got a head cold. You want your sinuses to drain. You don't want to, do something that's going to prevent that, because you're just keeping the infection in, The idea is to let things flow. And I think this is emotional. I don't think it's the physical stuff, but it could be. We have the Eight of Pentacles in the previous position, the kind of yesterday's energy or what came before all of this. And I think that this was you maintaining. This was you going through the motions, doing the routine, trying to just kind of stay in the rhythm and in the habit of it, right? But I think something was sort of building up under the surface, and you can't really see it here. You're doing a very good job of of keeping things together, but there's this eruption. Okay? And the Eight of Pentacles is, in some ways, it's you trying to do everything you can to keep your nose from running, to keep your, to keep your sinuses from draining, right? And it might be a practical thing. Maybe it's just like, I just really can't afford to get upset and have this kind of thing happen. I can't afford to get sick. So what do? Well, we take the over-the-counter stuff so that it dries up our sinuses and we can talk, we can go to work, and we can do what we need to do. But eventually all that stuff's going to have to come out if we're ever going to feel better. Right? And again, this isn't a medical reading. It's common sense, common sense stuff here. The same thing with the emotions. If we sort of keep it all bottled up, it's still feeding our life. It's still feeding our perception of reality. So is this the tree of our life? And are we feeding it this toxic water? These toxic emotions where it may seem like everything's fine, but we crack open these fruits and they're going to be rotting on the inside. Okay? So we have to get some clean and clear water going on so that we can nurture our life and grow our life in the way that, in a healthy way. Okay? The Knight of Pentacles up at the top here is you having a vision of the future. Okay. And well, hang on. Back to I'm getting this kind of feeling that it is sort of affecting your health. These pent up emotions, or whatever this Seven of Cups really is for you. It is affecting your health. Okay? Now, I don't know if it's just like the stress and the worry is sort of knocking your immune system out a little bit, if you're getting more colds than usual, if your digestion is sort of disrupted, but it's something. Yeah. Something's going on there. So this is something that is going to really affect a lot of different parts of you. Okay? It's not just the heart. Every system is connected, The Knight of Pentacles, anyway, as I was saying, this is the vision of the future. That you have to be able to see yourself long term. Who are you? Where are you? What are you doing? Do you have a vision of your best life? What does it look like? That's the question right now, and I think that's what you're looking at. That's what you're trying to see. is what is this future going to be? And maybe once all of this Seven of Cups stuff has been sort of purged and cleared out and the waters are clear again, maybe we'll have a better view. Once we kind of wipe the tears from our eyes, right? We can see clearly again. We don't have to clean our glasses, And then we can see, okay, now I see. Now I've got hope. Now I feel good. I can see myself in the future. I know who I'm going to be and what I want to be and where I want to be. That's a good thing. Now we can make the decision to go through this doorway and attain that future that we're after. Okay? This tower event, this is the big eruption, the big event. But then there still has to come this decision to say, okay, that's been done. Now it's time for me to go to my future. Okay? And I think your future is one of love, connection. We might be talking about a romantic relationship for you. I think this is a stronger connection with people. Friends, family, with yourself, right? This is love. This is self-love. This is you saying that you're not going to bottle up all these feelings anymore. Because then it's going to be another tower event at some point in the future. So it's kind of, this is you really making that promise to yourself and committing to yourself. Radical self-love. That's what it's all about. Okay? And now, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent, and we're going to look at your general energy. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything, and it really does support the channel, and I appreciate that. Let's try to support all of our favorite YouTube tarot readers, okay? Those readers that you love and value, just show them some love, like their videos, leave a comment, and that sort of thing, okay? On behalf of everyone in YouTube tarot land, I appreciate you. All right, general energy. Now, you know that this could be a life-changing moment. You already had this big sort of experience and we're just kind of coming off that energy, and it's like, now you realize that there's this doorway in front of you. And you can see, it's like it's a doorway with, it's got the glass, you can see through it. It might be obscured, maybe it's like stained glass or something. But you can see what's on the other side. And yeah, it's different, it's a big change, but you have this confidence that it's better. It's going to be good. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to live a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. I'm going to lead a life that is my own, And so this really, it's a reality check in a way, right? Because we've got to ask ourselves, am I confident enough? We've got to ask ourselves that question. Do I feel lucky? And I think when we're in this Seven of Cups and we're in this sort of tower thing, the pre-tower event, it might have been a situation where you didn't really feel that much confidence. You didn't feel like you had all that much agency over your life. And it could really feel an Eight of Pentacles here, that you're just sort of going through the motions, going through the routine, but you're tending somebody else's garden, or you're not really feeling this. It's just kind of born out of routine or necessity or whatever, right? But now that there's been this release, right? We're ready to go through this doorway. We're ready to have some closure for the past. We have to shut the door on this past thing and say, I'm not doing that again. I'm looking forward. And forward is going to have this Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is sometimes it's sometimes an overwhelming responsibility. And I can't help but think that you're going through some kind of a breakup or something. There's some kind of difficult thing going on here, because I feel like this is now the realization that everything in your life now has to be done by you. Okay? Maybe there was some shared responsibilities. Maybe there was a partnership. This could be you and a job, you and a career. It could be you and a family member, a friend, sibling. It could be you and a spouse or a romantic partner. But there was this idea that, two people helping each other makes the burden lighter, But this could be one thing that you're up against on the other side of this doorway. It's going to be all on your shoulders. This is the card of oppression. This is the card of feeling that our shoulders can't handle the weight of our responsibilities. Yeah. But sometimes this is a card also of, it kind of says help is coming, But we've got to go through this doorway. Maybe you're peeking through the doorway, you're kind of looking through the keyhole, and you say, wow, maybe I'm going to be emotionally like free and all this sort of stuff, but I'm going to have to do everything in life. Like I'm going to have to do all the chores. I'm going to have to do all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the work. And so we're kind of like, ooh, that's a lot, And we start to wonder if we have what it takes to accomplish this, because this is going to take every ounce of your energy. And you're going to have to adapt to be able to handle this much weight, But that's the thing with our physical bodies, right? And that's why we go and exercise and lift weights, is to sort of adapt. We challenge, we push ourselves beyond our limits so that we can increase our limits. We can expand our limits. You don't go and lift weights that are just very light. I mean, you can, maybe it's more cardiovascular, right? But you do it for a long time, and then it's kind of, it taxes the heart. It forces the heart to work harder to adapt to the demand. You're lifting very heavy weights. It's forcing the muscles to say, oh, I guess this is my life now. I better get into shape so I can handle this much weight. And then eventually, even that heavy 50-pound weight feels light. It feels like a feather, And so then you gotta challenge yourself even further. So when you're looking at the 10 of Wands and it feels like the burden is going to be so much greater on you, well, that's a good thing, because you're going to force your spirit to grow and adapt and evolve and to expand its limits. Yeah, to push its boundaries. But I also think that help is coming. And when we, sorry, Bobo. When we look at our Two of Cups, it does feel like in the future there is a partnership, there is love in your future, okay? And whether we're talking about romantic love or sort of the love of, like finding your purpose or something, like it's there, yeah. And even the 10 of, keep bumping into this, and even the 10 of Wands is showing that because there are the 2 wands up front with everything else in the background, right? So to me, it gives that impression that, there are others out there to help you. And even if this is you sort of leaving a relationship and being single, let's say, and it feels as if all of the burden of life is on you now, well, there are resources out there to help ease that burden. There is help for you. You are not alone, okay? And that's important because I think spirit, your soul, your guardian angel, your guides, are showing you this doorway to say, hey, look, your future's on the other side of this. We've got to let this stuff go. We've got to have this purge. We've got to have this eruption, this catharsis, and we've got to go through this doorway. Well, here's another doorway with the Moon card, It's, we're confronted with our own fear. We're afraid of our own sort of uncertainty in things. Really, we're on both sides. We got the fire energy right on this moon, and the Moon card. It is about facing that fear, and so maybe it's a fear of sort of not being up to the challenge. Maybe it's the fear of being alone. Maybe it's just the kind of thing of not having any support, or any help in life. But the Moon card is really that card of the quest. We've got to answer the call. We've got to confront that fear, and the obstacle is really not having any certainty. Now, we never have certainty. Nothing is certain. The situation that you were in before, maybe at one time you thought pretty certainly about that too. We don't know anything in life, and it's impossible to really know anything for sure. It's impossible to have absolute certainty about anything. Just every single moment in life is unknown, is uncertain, is unpredictable. Okay? We can be 99.9% sure that the sun will rise at some point in the next 24 hours, but I could not say that, philosophically speaking. I could not say that with absolute certainty. 99.9%. It's enough that I'd be willing to gamble my life on it, right? I'm pretty sure that, yes, it's going to rise tomorrow, some point, But nothing is certain. So every moment we're staring at a dark doorway that we don't know really what is on the other side of it. But we have to go. And there's the sun at the bottom of that card. And it's showing that you are this sun that's rising. And you're illuminating this darkness, and that you are going to see the beauty and the wonder and the love that's in your future, which is what we're looking for here. You're going to see that, but not till you make the decision to step into that future and step away from this past. You are the light that's going to illumine this forest. Okay? But as we see with the Two of Wands, there it is, your choice, right? Spirit's saying you're going in the right direction. Okay? Even if we get into this forest and we feel like we got turned around, we feel like we don't know which way's which. When you're in this forest, it's easy to get lost, right? Spirit's saying you're going in the right direction. Yeah. Now, Spirit's also saying that somebody didn't tell you the whole story, that there's some kind of that there was some kind of I don't know if it's a betrayal, some sort of a deception or a lie or something going on in your life. And it's part of this air energy here. It's part of that moon card. But Spirit's saying, don't try to figure it out. Don't intellectualize it. Don't seek after all these answers, because you're never going to be satisfied with the answer. Okay? And I almost wonder if it's the answer like why. Like what exactly happened and why? Like I want to know the details. I want to know why it happened. Well, how's that going to help you? And so I kind of feel that there's a lack of trust, and that speaks to our Ten of Wands too, that maybe you thought you were in this partnership with somebody and something happened, right? And then you realize that no, you are in fact kind of on your own here. That who you thought was supposed to be by your side has shown their true colors. Yeah. Well, let's look at the mystery card. Thank you, Bobo. Or Boo-Boo, or I don't know. I would like to see an expansion of the water energy. I want to see the water really getting good. We got the 2, which is good. How about a 9? How about a 10? How about an Empress, right? I think Empress is what I would really like to see. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. It might be a 10 of Pentacles. Let's see. A 4 of Wands. That's good. That's good. A 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is showing cycle completed. That you've gone out and you've come back in again. You're arriving at your next destination. That you've done this, and it's kind of, this is the idea. You've gone through this doorway and you're arriving at the next base camp. You're arriving at the next checkpoint in your life. And you're being welcomed, and it feels good, and it's kind of like it's the first. It's kind of like you're on this journey, right? And the first section of the journey is rather short. It's just for you to get out there and get comfortable being on the quest. Okay? So it's really in a very short time that you come to the first resting point. And that's where you kind of get a good meal, you start to get comfortable, you relax. Then the big journey starts. And so it kind of feels like that. It feels like there's going to be a journey, or there's going to be a sort of challenge. There's going to be some motion forward, short term, that's going to lead you to a stable place. And then from there, it's kind of like, then you're going to make the really big moves. So in other words, maybe this is a situation, maybe this is a domestic situation that's changing. Maybe you're going to go get a little apartment somewhere, just whatever you can find real quick just to get out of there. Maybe you're going to go stay with friends, whatever. Just go get somewhere that's going to welcome you, someplace where the water can sort of run until it's clear and, you're good. You stabilize. Then comes the really big thing where we're seeing the future long-term goals. Where do you really want to go? What do you really want to do? So I feel like your first stop is a temporary stop. Does that make sense? That's what I see with the Four of Wands here. But you're on the right path. Okay, this is going to be good. A lot of love in your future, and you got to believe in this. Self-love comes first, and then I think you will find the right people, the right circumstances, and the right resources in your life, and it's going to be really good. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There is a link down below. New readings for Cancer Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.